and thank you for tuning in, Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Thank you for joining my YouTube channel, and we are going to get started. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. What I wanted to go over today is the new all-inclusive kit in the new mini catalog. What an awesome kit this is. It's got everything you need to go to stamp, and especially if you're a new stamper. So we are going to jump right in. Okay, again, Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. You can reach me at Stampersdelight.com if you'd like to join Stampin' Up! And my team. You can also go there and join the fun. If you'd like to place an order with me, here is my host code for the month, if it's less than $150. Okay, so let's get started. So the all-inclusive kit comes in this great box. Okay, love the box alone. Mine is empty because everything's out of it. But let's just see if I can drag the camera down a little bit so you can see it a little better. It's a good size box. It's great for holiday gifts. And then you get inside, you get the instructions with everything you need to make these cards. And on the back, it's got, I don't like to read directions, okay? I like to just look at the pictures. So there's 4 different designs, and I'm going to show you the ones I've already done. But before we get started with that, I'm going to show you what you get. Okay, so you would get card bases for the large and the small cards. Let me move this up a little bit. Okay, and then you get matching envelopes. So for the larger cards, there's your envelope. For the smaller ones, there's the envelope there. And then it tells you what color ink to use. What they suggest was Misty Moonlight, and that's what I decided to use also. Also in the kit, you get this really nice copper baker's twine. You get some dimensionals. You also get some glue dots. And then you get the vellum paper with some copper design to it. Really nice. You'll see some of mine are missing. Okay. But really nice designs. You also get die cuts. Now the die cuts, they have several pages of them. One whole sheet is of the leaves, and then you have 3 sheets of flowers. Okay, and again, you're going to see some of mine are being used because I've already used them, and I'm going to show you those samples in a minute. So this is what's left. And you're going to have some leftovers for some other cards, which is great. Then you get 2 sheets of your sentiment die cuts, where you're going to stamp your sentiments. So let me get started and show you the cards first, and then we'll go ahead and stamp them. The stamp set itself, I'm going to bring that in and show you what that looks like. Hopefully you can see it. Mine are already mounted. So, hello, dear friend, just a note, thank you. A day to remember, and you make my heart smile. Some really nice sentiments there for all occasion. So now let's bring in the cards that you can make. And I'm just going to bring in the instructions, so we'll go through it so you can see. From the back side. Okay, so here's the 4 cards. And this is the first one. There's that little one right there, the hello. And you can see I just got the greenery on there. And I could have added some of the copper ribbon or baker's twine, but I like to do the first samples the way they show, just so I can show you. Nothing on the inside because I'm not sure what I'm using these for. Probably with me, I will probably use them as thank you cards. And then, of course, it goes with that little envelope that I showed you. Let's just go bring that in. And it would go into that little envelope. The second small one that they have is this one right here. Let me move the envelopes out of the way. And this is right here. And you can see the vellum paper in the back, and now the cord or baker's twine. And this is a cute little thank you card. You can also add some Wink of Stella. You can add some embellishments, doodads as I like to call them. But again, I like to do one just like they show. The next one I have is this one up here, A Day to Remember. And again, it's got the larger envelope. Really, really quick, easy cards to make, but they're so pretty. And then the next one is You Make My Heart Smile, and there it is again with that vellum. Okay. And again, I didn't put anything on the insides yet. I will when I'm going to use them. And again, you can add some Wink of Stella, or you can put some more embellishments on there if you wanted. All right, so let's get started and do a little stamping here. So the first one I'm going to bring in is this one. Now, I'm going to bring in the one that I showed because I will probably change it up a bit now. So here's the pieces that I need. I need that piece and this piece. I need the cord. I need one of those vellum pieces. And of course my dimensionals and a thank you. So let's grab the thank you. Let's start with that. Now, because it is a photopolymer set, you do want to use your stamping mat there. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside, bring this in, bring that little thank you in there. I am using the Misty Moonlight. And I do have to get up and stamp here. So let's just see how this works. Okay, so let's do thank you. There we go. Nice and easy. I'm going to bring in my card base. And even though these are scored off the camera, I'm just going to burnish that a little bit. I'm going to bring in my vellum piece. And because this is being layered, you can see the glue or adhesive through the vellum. But because you're going to have that flower in the middle, I'm just going to go ahead and add my stamp and seal there. This flower is going to go right here. And then, of course, the thank you and popped up on dimensionals. And then I'm going to use the cord. Tie a bow here. I like to use a long piece. It's just easier for me to tie. If you have long nails, sometimes it's a little harder. Oh, I'm not in camera view. Sorry. Let me do that again. And for some reason, I do have trouble with this one. I think because it's so slippery. So we are going to... Okay, third time's a charm. There we go. And then pull those two tails tight. Once you have those tight, you can get it the way you want. I want it rather large because I want it to stick out. So I'm just going to snip some of that off. And it's going to go below everything. So it's going to go right here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is grab my dimensionals. And I'm going to put some of these on here. I'll put one on here and one on here. Okay, now I can use the glue dots that they gave me in the kit, or if you'd rather use your adhesive, you could use that. I'm going to just put this, I'm going to eyeball this right about here. I'm just going to put that right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down with a glue dot, just to hold it in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and get these off. So now that gold ribbon shows through. This one's a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that. I'm also going to take these dimensionals off. You could also use flat, do it flat, but this one I decided to put dimensionals on, and I'm going to put that right here. That's really all I had to do. But now for this one, because that's the same one you have there, I'm going to add a little bit to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Stella, and I'm going to add some shimmer to these flowers. I could have done that beforehand, but I'm just going to give this some extra shimmer. Who doesn't like Stella, right? This kit is absolutely gorgeous. I love the all-inclusive kits. And again, if you're a beginner stamper, it's the best way to start out, in my opinion. Have to say that, in my opinion. But even if you're an avid stamper, these kits are so nice. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some of our champagne rhinestones, and I'm going to add a few rhinestones here. So right in the center of some of these flowers, I'm going to add some rhinestones. Those two right there, because they have centers. Then I'm going to grab one of the larger ones. I'm going to put that up there, and one of the smaller ones, and just put it right there. Look at the difference just by adding a little bit of embellishments. Now, I will have still shots of this on my Facebook page and also my blog, Stampersdelight.com, so check those out, okay? So that's the first one. Let's bring in the next little card. And here's my pieces for that. And in case you forgot what that one looked like, let's bring that in. That is the Hello Friend. And we're going to change that one up just a little bit. Okay, so I am going to take my sentiment die cut. I'm going to grab Hello Friend. Ink that up really well. Again, I am going to stamp Hello Friend. And then for this one, I'm going to take these little leaves and I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to grab, let's see, the Pear Pizzazz. All right, just to change it up a little bit, I am going to add some little leaves here. Little leaves there. I just think it adds a little bit to it. Now I could also add a little flower because that is also there, but I don't want to because I think it'll take away from the sentiment. Okay. So now let me grab these little guys, and they're going to go right here just like that one did. So again, you can use your glue dots because they come with it. I'm just going to put a little of my Stampin' Seal here and change it up a little bit. I think I'll put this one up here. And let me grab my silicone mat because that's really where I should be gluing this down to. Since I changed my setup here, I'm a little bit closer. So I have to make sure I stay in camera view. Okay, I'm going to put that one up there. So this is actually going to be placed right here, and you can see this one's a little different. But I am going to grab that and put those dimensionals on this also. All right, so let's do this. Put that right there. Oh, I got a little green there. Well, let me show you how I'm going to fix that. I'm going to grab a little of that green color, and I am just going to stamp right over where I got. Whoop. There we go. Okay. Well, I think that one might have to have a flower now. What do you think? Okay, so let's put a little flower right here. Since I kind of messed that up. There we go. And now it's fixed. Now it's got a little flower. Okay, we're going to grab one of those nice little roses. Actually, I can cover that up if I wanted with the rose. And I am just going to change this up. I'm going to put the rose over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some stamp and seal there. I want the rose on that side. And let's see. I'm still not real happy with that, so let me just see what else I can do. And I think it's because it's the dimensional there. But let me clean this off and see if I can do something that something else that I might like with it. This is what I call playing. I'm going to go right back over that in the green. There we go. Just looks like a double flower now. Okay, so it does look a little like a double flower. I could also add something else there if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave that for now. And then what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to bring in those champagne doodads. And I'm going to put one right here in the middle of that. Kind of what I'm doing is I'm trying to take away from where I have a little boo-boo. Look at that. So now it looks like it's supposed to be there. What do you think? Again, I'm going to change it up a little bit more. Now that it's down, I can see that it needs Wink of Stella. I buy a lot of Wink of Stella. I'm not going to do the inside leaves there, just these leaves. Okay, now let me make sure my hands are clean before I move on to the next card. Okay, so there you have two different variations of this little card. So let's move on to the larger ones. Okay, so this one is You Make My Heart Smile. I'm going to go ahead and grab that and pull out those pieces. Okay, so that's this one. And that's the green background, which is right here. And then I'm going to grab the flowers. I already poked these out so I would have them ready. There we go. Okay, so let's start layering this one up. Go ahead and fold that. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in that other piece, another piece of the vellum paper. Now remember, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm just going to move my chair here. All right. And because you're not going to see it, I can actually put a little adhesive right in the middle here. Okay. So there we have that. And then the long sentiment, You make my heart smile. Great sentiment for Valentine's Day, and that's right around the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. Okay, let that dry for a couple of minutes here. I'm going to grab this baker's twine again and see if I can get this the first time. Look at that. First time. Okay. Again, it's bigger than I want it, so I'm just going to pull those little edges, snip it off. And then I'll decide later if if it needs to be cut down even more. Okay, so we just want some of this ribbon to show. Oh, actually, that looks kind of nice like that, doesn't it? So I'm going to add that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a glue dot, put that in the corner there. I'm not even caring now if it's a bow. Look at that. I kind of like that. It's like a three loopy kind of thing. I'm going to go ahead and I am putting dimensionals on my sentiment. I might need more. Let's see. Might be able to do it with just the 2. Put that right there. And then, of course, I have the 3 flowers. And I'm going to do these a little different. So I already know that I'm going to want Stella. I'm going to grab in another little one from the extra, because you do have some of these left over. I'm actually going to grab a greenery. And let's see where I want to put these. Like maybe here, here, and here. Layer them together like that. And maybe I'll even try another leaf on top of that, but I think that would be too much. Yeah, I don't want to mess that flower up. I want to be able to see that flower. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, bring in my silicone mat. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive. The silicone mat keeps the adhesive where you don't want it. Sometimes I don't use it, and you can see my tables have adhesive all over them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Before I do these, I am going to add Stella. So let's do that. So I definitely want Stella on these. I'm going to probably do Stella on all of them, just like the way it looks. There's one. Swish a little Stella on there. A little bit more right there. Okay. And then I'm going to start layering, see where I want them. Okay, this one I think needs to go down because you don't want to, this one needs to be this way. You want to make sure you can see your sentiment. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to take that off. I'm going to add dimensionals on there. So that's the way I put them in where I think I want them. Of course, they never go back the exact same spot, but close enough. Just make sure. You can bring this down. You just want to make sure that it doesn't go over your sentiment. Then we're going to put a couple of dimensionals here. I hate to not see all these flowers. Okay, we're going to do that. And then the yellow one's going to go right, maybe underneath. Nah, I like it on top. Now this one, I'm not going to use a dimensional. I am going to just glue that down right here. Now, because it has an oomph there, a little opening, oomph, that's where I can stick a dimensional. It's got a little gap there. So now I'll stick a dimensional there, and that keeps it down. So now I have 3 flowers where this one had the 3 flowers, but no greenery. And because I know I have extras, I might just add another piece right there. Now this one I am going to use a dimensional on. Okay, I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals for this because I do want this puffed up, and these mini dimensionals work perfect right on here. Okay, probably only need 3. Put that right there. And then I could go back in and put Stella on the leaves too. But there you have 2 different variations. And of course, you need to have some doodads. So these, I'm going to just put, whoop, fell off. It's all right. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to put one here. Now these are the larger ones. Okay, so you know when it stops sticking, you need to turn that and get a little bit more of that putty there, so it'll hold on to your, oh, there it is, right there. Well, look at, I guess I'll just keep that right where it wants to be. Let's take that off there. Just flip it around. I want it to be right there, so that's where we're going to put it. What do you think? Okay. And now you have even more dimension to the card. Again, here's the original. And then there's the one that the alternative. Okay. Now for the last one. Here's the card. And let's change this one up a little bit. So this is the base. And then we have the diamond. And I guess you could do the diamond this way if you wanted to, right? We might even do that, depending on what I decide I'm going to do. Okay, so for this one, it has the flower, it has the sentiment, and of course the diamond. I kind of like that diamond the opposite way though, because then you can see those pretty red or pink flowers. This would go right there, this would go right there. Of course, we're not going to do that. We are going to change it a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp a day to remember. And that could be a birthday card. It could be a wedding card, anniversary. And I am just going to find the sentiment. Here it is. I'm going to bring that in, a day to remember. There's my sentiment. Okay, just put that aside for a second. Bring this back in. And again, I am just going to use my adhesive to put that down. Now we do need another little bow. And trust me, there's a lot left over to make more alternates. All you need is the card bases. If this was a different color, if let's say the back side of this base was striped or had a design, I'd probably cut them in half like I do so many times so that I can get 2 cards out of 1. But with the leftovers, oh, just forgot, I'm showing you, talking, and I'm not showing you what I'm doing here. So let me tie this. Since the card bases on the back are white, we'll just leave it. And then the extra pieces that I have left over, I'll make some extra cards with. All right, so tying that. And let's just get this tied up. I want this rather large so that you can see it. And I can do it this way or that way, whichever way you want. This is going to go here. All right, so let's put that down first so I know where I'm going to get started. I'll just put it right there. Oh, didn't go off the paper there. There we go. Tricky little devils. All right, so we're going to put that right there. Okay, so the sentiment, just so you can get the idea, let me just fold that. The sentiment is going to go right here. And then I'll play around with my flowers. When I'm done, I am going to show you what's left so you can see that you do have items left here. Okay. Put that right up there. And then this flower, actually going to go this way. I did it the opposite way. Now, let me bring these in. You see, I still have one of each to do. So if I take the flowers and the greenery, I still have extra pieces. I'm going to bring those in. I'm only going to do these. See, I still have a lot of these pieces left. And even if I do, well, this one would go, this would be for one card, so that would be done. And this would be for the other. I have a lot of yellow ones left and still some greenery. So you can see that you have a lot left to make more cards. This one, depending on how many you use on a card, this one I'm going to put right here. Let me do it this way. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on this. Right about there. I'm going to go in because I know what I have left are the yellow. The pink I have to use for the other one. I have yellow ones left and I have the greenery. So I'm going to go ahead and add these. I think I'll add it up here. Okay, so this I'm going to go ahead and glue flat down. So I guess you could call these my cards on a fly. Okay, I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to put that right here. Don't want it to go over, too far over. I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on my yellow flower. And I'm going to put that right here. Look at that. Again, a different alternative. I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella and add some Wink of Stella. Add some Wink of Stella to this too, right here. Just putting it all over. You could add it down here if you want to. I'll make these pop. Bring in my champagne rhinestones. And then put some of them wherever I want. I think I'm going to put 2 here. The larger and the medium. And then I'll take one of the small ones and I'll put that maybe right up here. There we go. So there you have another variation. Look how much just that little bit of embellishment really makes it pop. So again, that's our inclusive, all-inclusive Hello Dear or Hello Dear Friend kit. And you get to make 3 of each. And there's 4 different ones. And I still have to make 1 of each left. But even after I do, I'm going to have a lot of pieces left here. I'm going to have a whole thing of the sentiment dies, which I absolutely love. So it's something to think about. It's in the catalog. And it is on page 6. And if you'd like to place an order, go to Stampersdelight.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I will have still shots on my blog, Stampersdelight.com, later on, and also on my Facebook page tomorrow. So again, thank you for tuning in, and keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.